Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about Olam Group, listed on Singapore Exchange. Standard disclaimers, this is not financial advice. It's only for informational and educational purposes. Do your own diligence and consult professionals. All right, let's go. So what is Olam Group? Olam Group is composed of three parts. First is the discontinued operations, which is Olam Agri, and it's getting sold to Saudi Salik. And then there are continuing operations, which is OFI and ROG. OFI is the crown jewel of the group, and it does business in cocoa, coffee, nuts, and other businesses. Okay, why Olam Group? So Olam Group has great prospects because interest rates have come down tremendously in the past 1 year, as well as cocoa prices have dropped 50% in the last 6 months. This, I believe, will tremendously improve Olam's operating profits as well as the free cash flows. Next is from the current divestments, I expect huge incoming funds. Based on my estimates, this funds amount is bigger than Olam's current market capitalization. So basically, I'm buying the continuing operations, which is OFI and ROG, for free. And third, I think Olam is a great asymmetric one-way trading opportunity because it has limited downside but a huge nice upside. But first, let's try to understand Olam's current stock problems. As you can see, Olam has dropped about 22% in the year to date, while the general Singapore stock index has gone up about 20%, and it's near all-time high. So what are the problems? First is that in 2023 and 24, cocoa and coffee prices increased tremendously, and interest rates have risen. Together with all of these, it created huge debt load and capital working requirements for Olam, and it caused huge increase in interest expenses, and it sequentially decreased Olam's net profit as well as it decreased Olam's free cash flows. Next problem is the complex conglomerate structure of Olam. Furthermore, people don't expect any more profits from Olam Agri after its complete sale to Saudi Salik. And as I said, in 2024, there were huge problems with the cocoa prices, coffee prices, and interest rates. So it caused a huge drop in the net income and free cash flows. So accordingly, Olam's stock price has been down in the last 12 months. Sadly, Olam does not have any active analyst coverage in Singapore, despite it being a top 35 large company in Singapore. So I wish to rectify this problem because I come from the agricultural and food commodities industry, and I believe I can shed light about Olam's bright prospects. Okay, so let's now try to understand Olam Group's tailwinds as well as the catalyst for its upside. As I said, the cocoa price have dropped 50% in the past 6 months. The interest rates have come down a lot, and because all of these normalizations, I believe Olam Group is nicely positioned to get great net income and free cash flows in this current second half of 2025. And because of this, I believe that Olam stock price has to go up at least 50% in the coming months. Next is management's sharp focus on group's crown jewel after disposing Olam Agri to Salik. And the crown jewel is OFI. And I believe on standalone basis, OFI can be valued conservatively at 15 billion Singapore dollars. Also, management is now sharply focused on free cash flows and profit, and we can see it on Olam's decision to close underperforming, cash-burning Jiva Agri startup. So the biggest current transaction going on is, I believe, in the coming months we will see huge inflow of funds to Olam Group, which is more than its Olam Group's current market cap. So because of this, I believe that at this current market prices of Olam Group, I'm buying OFI and ROG businesses for free. So last month I saw this news on Bloomberg that Saudi Salik wants to buy Olam agrees 100% as soon as possible. So this will create a huge cash inflow to Olam Group. So let's try to understand how much cash and funds are expected to come to Olam in the coming months. First is, of course, the net profit from continuing operations, which is around $122 million, but I expect H2 results to be much higher than this. Next is the Olam Agri sale to SALIC. This is another 2.3 billion Singapore dollars. Furthermore, we have to receive about 636,000 US dollars daily from Saudi SALIC, starting from 1st June, and till the end year, it should generate around 177 million Singapore dollars for Olam Group. Next, we have the Arise PL's disposal for 175 million US dollars. And we have the Olam Agri's sale to SALIC, another $1 billion and $39 million coming to Olam Group. So total incoming funds are coming to more than 3.8 billion Singapore dollars, while the Olam's current market cap is only 3.6 billion Singapore dollars. So there is huge incoming funds to Olam Group, and these incoming funds are larger than the Olam Group's total market cap, which shows the absurdity of the situation. And I believe that at this current share price of Olam Group, I'm buying OFI and ROG basically for free. Okay, what is OFI? OFI is the crown jewel of Olam Group, and I think it has a standalone valuation of 15 billion Singapore dollars. And you can see it's an amazing business. Sales of more than $20 billion, EBITDA in 2024 of $1.5 billion, EBIT $1 billion, a lot of manufacturing facilities all over the world, 50 different countries, 18,000 employees, and 11,000 top-notch customers. So OFI is the undisputed crown jewel of Olam Group after Olam Agri's sale to SALIC. Okay, so let's understand the current problems of OFI, which were pronounced in 2023 and 24. And these problems of OFI are generally interest rates and commodity prices. So interest rates are coming down nicely in the recent several months, and cocoa prices have dropped tremendously, more than 50% in the last 6 months. And coffee prices are stabilizing. So as we can see, previously we had like high commodity prices and high interest rates. So this gave to more debt load and more finance expenses and lower net profits and lower cash flows. But because these problems are going away, now OFI will be positioned to generate much more profits as well as the huge cash flows from its businesses, thanks to normalization in interest rates and dropping of abnormally high commodity prices. So let's see some news about Olam Food Ingredients, OFI. So recent news is that OFI wants to go to IPO at 18 billion US dollars in London, but it was cancelled due to Russia-Ukraine war. And Olam is continuing its amazing business. For example, in Vietnam, it won the Vietnam Cash Association Award. Olam is doing great business in the cocoa and chocolate research and development. And Olam is doing great business in helping its customers to adjust to tariffs, because Olam has supply from all over the world. So, for example, if China cannot buy California almonds, they can buy Olam's, OFI's Australian almonds. So Olam can help its customers to get diverse products at paying the least tariffs. Okay, let's understand how debt load of Olam Group will change after the SALIC sale. So from the current 2.09 times net gearing, after the SALIC sale expected in 2026, it should come down to around one time. And because the interest rates are dropping and commodity prices are dropping, net gearing should come even below 1, I believe. So let's see more about how OFI is tackling the debt load. So as you can see, cocoa prices in the last 6 months have dropped a lot. And from the end of 2024, when the cocoa prices were about 9,000 pounds, now cocoa prices are just 4,000 pounds in London Exchange. And the US Treasury, 2-year Treasury, has dropped to from 4.2 to about 3.6% now. So as you can see that Trump wants lower rates, it should help Olam even better. And let's now look at Olam's competitor in cocoa business, in chocolate business, which is Barry Callebaut. Barry Callebaut, around April, around July it had huge problems again because of cocoa prices. But now we can see that in the last 6 months, cocoa prices have come down 50%, and Barry Callebaut's share price has gone up by 50%. So cocoa price is down by 50%, Barry Callebaut's share price is up by 50%. So I believe that we should see the same dynamic in OFI, in Olam Group, because lower commodity costs means that lower interest rate and less gearing and more profits and more cash flow for Olam Group. Again, more great news for OFI and Olam Group. Experts at Rabobank Netherlands, they expect great large crops for coffee and cocoa, so it should decrease the cocoa and coffee prices further. And again, lower commodity prices means that less debt, less borrowings, lower inventory capital, lower working capital, and more profit and more cash flow for Olam Group. Again, so let's come to summary. So after the ongoing sale to SALIC, I believe that Olam Group will have a lot of cash, will simplify its operations, and will generate a lot of cash flows thanks to the lower interest rates and lower cocoa prices, lower commodity prices. And all of this easily makes me believe that Olam Group should come to its fair value of book value, which is about 2.5 after the SALIC sale completes, expected in 2026. And I believe that in the long term, its share price should come closer to $5 per share, because, as I said, OFI is a great business. Based on my estimates, standalone valuation of OFI should be around 15 billion Singapore dollars, because it generated like 1.5 billion in EBITDA in 2024, which is 10 times, which will give us 15 billion valuation, or its book value is 5 billion. So 3 times book value is 15 billion dollars. Singapore dollars. And as we saw, the lower interest rates, lower cocoa and coffee prices should again help OFI and help Olam Group, and we should see great net profits and free cash flows for Olam Group. So that's why I believe that Olam Group is a great potential for trading, for investment, because now management is focused on reorganization, simplification, and generating cash flows, unlocking value for its shareholders. All right. Again, take note of the disclaimers, and I hope you trade cautiously, and good luck, and take care. Bye-bye for now.